heard the news that my grandma had died, I was sad that I hadn't been there for more as she aged, the way she was there for me as I aged. But along with that feeling was the immense appreciation I felt for my Aunt Casey, who had been there for her mother every single day. I did feel so blessed to have the opportunity to get to go to the Regency here in Fallbrook and pay my last respects. So thank you, Aunt Casey, for letting us all know when they projected that Grandma might have 48 hours left to live, and it ended up being only 2. I didn't get those first text messages. By the time I checked my phone, it was too late. She'd gone home to be with Grandpa. But there I was, walking into Grandma's room at the Regency where she lay. I wasn't afraid to see her as some people might be. Instead, I felt a sense of peace, of completeness, of wholeness. It's not a stretch by any means to say that I owe my existence to Helen Jones. As I knelt in prayer by her beautiful body, I prayed to God with this overwhelming gratitude for her existence and mine. And I was struck by the legacy of Wilson and Helen Jones. As I write this eulogy, it's Friday morning, the day before my grandmother's memorial service. It's 5:43 a.m. In 30 minutes, my sister and her fiancé Charlie are dropping off 4 of their 5 kids to come hang out with me and my kid while they and their other kid attend Charlie's sister's graduation at UC Irvine. Now that was a mouthful. But can you imagine me in a one-bedroom apartment with 5 kids? Actually, I was looking forward to it. But of course, at the end of the day, I only kept 1 of them. Wilson and Helen had 4 children. My grandpa Wilson was focused on his children's futures. This 20-acre plot of land that he worked on tirelessly, in addition to his full-time position at Camp Pendleton as civil engineer, is a testament to that. He was also investing in his children's futures? I don't know. Not yet. My mom and dad had 3 kids, and those kids have 9 so far. My dad's sister Jara had 4 kids, and those kids have 4 so far. My Aunt Casey had 2 kids, and one of those kids has a bun in the oven. With a him or her, who knows? With plans for many more, I know. And my Uncle Carrie didn't have kids of his own, but dedicated himself to a career in a way that certainly honored the legacy of Wilson Jones. It's impossible to share everything about someone's life in a matter of minutes, but this is where I'm going to talk about Grandma and the grandkids. Summers at Grandma's Lake, running from that really mean goat that would chase us in the pasture, and running from that really mean goose that would chase us in the lake, squirting my sister in the face with goat's milk while milking goats for that 1 week when Grandma was out of town, shoveling goat poop out of the barn into a wheelbarrow and then dumping it under the navel orange trees. And then having Grandma say that Grandpa doesn't want us to pick the oranges, that we have to wait until they fall to the ground to eat them. Saying, "No thanks," to Grandma's homemade goat cheese, before getting as far away from that giant goat cheese bowl as possible, except for Brendan and Aaron. You guys loved it.
I loved it too.
And Kevin loved it. Okay, I don't even want to touch it. Saying, "Yes, please," to Grandma's homemade Sapoda milkshakes, since you didn't taste the goat. And some home-popped popcorn. Then arguing over who gets to lick the butter out of the bowl at the bottom. Jujubes, cherimoyas, kumquats, loquats, pomegranates, macadamia nuts, strawberry guavas, pineapple guavas. You guys hungry yet? And then, of course, the freezer in the garage full of frozen treats that we weren't supposed to tell Grandpa about, and the trips to Taco Bell. My grandma sure loved us. For me in particular, Helen Jones gave me a very special gift. Not only do I owe my existence to her and the best memories of my childhood, but my grandmother gave me the gift of music. My parents had separated, and my siblings and I were living in Bonza with my mom, about 9 miles from here. As she got older, my grandma hated driving out of town. And yet, when I was 12 years old, my grandma would go out of her way every week to pick me up in Bonsall and take me back to Fallbrook to take piano lessons at Robin Protzman's house. During my piano lesson, my grandma took diligent notes. It was the Suzuki method, which meant she also took me to recitals and juries, where I would take a test to advance to the next level. Then also, my grandmother would sit at the piano with me while I practiced, and sometimes we would play Forehand Mazurka together. When I was 16 and I decided I wanted to stop taking piano to pursue singing, she supported me. She took me to a summer musical theater program at the Cass Music Academy at the Vision Theater. She helped me prepare for an audition for Guys and Dolls, and she chose the song for me to sing, Look for the Silver Lining. I got a call back, but I didn't get the part. The she never stopped supporting me. When I got a job at Domino's Pizza, she helped me buy my first car so I could get there. And she rode with me when I had my driver's permit and defended my bad driving against the other drivers, who she'd cuss at simply by saying, "You sinner!" When I needed a place to stay my junior and senior year of high school, she let me move in. She took me shopping and bought me everything I needed for my dorm room at UCSD. I put that in quotation marks because Brenda and Aaron know they don't call them dorms anymore. Later in the service, the second song I have the honor and privilege of singing for my grandma is called "You Raise Me Up." Without her support, I wouldn't even be able to stand up and speak in front of people, much less play music, sing, or perform. My grandma raised me up as a singer and a performer, so my performances today, like all the others, are for Grandma Jones.